Today is day 30. Hard to believe it, but you have accomplished 30 days of reading through the Bible, the first month, and you have done extremely well, and we're well on our way as we begin to move into the book of Exodus. Now, Exodus chapter 1 through 3 is a fulfillment, actually, of some things that were prophesied in Genesis chapter 15. In Genesis 15, 13, and 14, God tells Abraham of a future event. He says that his people, the Israelites, are going to be suffering under affliction in a land that's not theirs for 400 years. In that oppression, where they are servants, God is going to show up. And he's going to intervene while the people are crying out, as we read about it in the first part of Exodus. And in their cry, in their groaning to God, God hears them and God has mercy. All the male children have been, there's been a law to kill all the Egyptian males that be born. Pharaoh is concerned about the number of Israelites and how they're growing rapidly. God continues to favor them. And he's concerned that they're going to raise a rebellion and come against him. And so he then subjects them to slavery and keeps them occupied so they don't have time nor energy to do so. So now he's trying to kill all the male children. Moses' mother and father recognize that this child is special, and they build a little boat kite box, and they send it down the Nile with Moses in it. And lo and behold, Pharaoh's daughter is there, sees this, and Moses' sister asked, "Do you want me to find a mother to nurse?" And Pharaoh's daughter says yes. And lo and behold, Moses' mother gets to nurse her own son and gets paid to do it. God is absolutely in control. Well, Pharaoh's daughter adopts Moses, raises him in Pharaoh's palace. He knows that he's a Hebrew, but has compassion on his people. Now think about it. Moses has been raised, trained, and educated in all the skills of Egypt, and he has the privilege of royalty and probably great wealth. But he has compassion. He intervenes between a problem with an Egyptian and Israelite. He kills the Egyptian. Word gets out about that. He's terrified. Pharaoh's out to kill him. And he heads then to Midian. He's 40 years old. He flees to Midian. He's a shepherd. He doesn't have any desire to be a prophet. We don't know how much he actually knows anything about the God of Abraham. But he's there, and a bush is burning, and it's not consumed. It captures his attention. He takes a closer look. God introduces himself to Moses, and he introduces him through that covenant promise. I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Moses is terrified. He's afraid. He's never seen anything quite like this. It's his first introduction to God. He takes off his shoes, and God begins to speak to him. And he asks a series of questions, and Moses, because God is calling Moses to be his messenger, to be his deliverer to his people. And Moses, though, like many of us, had all kinds of excuses and insecurities and questions about his qualifications. And he asked questions to God. Who am I that I should be the one? And who do I say has sent me? And so God is telling him all the details of the things that are going to happen, that he will bring them out with a mighty hand, that the Israelites will be led out of their captivity. Pharaoh's not going to want to stand for it. His heart will be hardened. He speaks about that the Egyptians are going to have favor and lavish them with gifts. And that's exactly what happens. And so he says, you will plunder the Egyptians. All of this is a fast-paced, many, many years have passed by, but we're given a background here of God taking an ordinary common man, actually a shepherd who was raised in Pharaoh's household, and how God is going to take that man and refine him and train him and mentor him. And Moses is going to become one great man who surrendered to God, and he will be used to show the mighty power of God. Hang on. We're in for a ride of our life as we see God work in the miraculous.